overview now of the Xvision 4-channel NVR that you see in front of me here. So we'll just start off with the outer packaging here itself. You can see it just comes in this pack here with this little carry handle on it. Okay, so we have the NVR itself in front of me here. So I'm just going to start off and go through the peripherals. Okay, so you can see the power unit here comes with a 3-pin plug. The output from this is 12 volts and 5 amps. We have then a CD here with both the software and the user manual for the NVR itself. We can see here we have these wiring blocks here. These will simply slot into the back of the NVR itself. We have a computer mouse here, which you'll obviously use just to access the menus, etc. We have a remote control, which you can see here. And then also we'll say we have two 1.5 meter Ethernet cables and two SATA cables, such as this here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to move those peripherals out of the way so we can focus somewhat better on the NVR itself, okay? So if we come and we look at the front of the NVR, the first thing we'll notice here, there's actually a USB port here. So we can use this for adding on external storage devices or doing, we'll say, a backup of a recording onto a USB key, for instance. And then we'll see some number buttons here with a double with functionalities such as pause, rewind, forward, and move forward in steps. And then we're into some menu functionality here such as escape and record. We have an LED display here, and also then we have arrow selection buttons up and down, left and right, and then an enter button and a power on off button. Now if we rotate the NVR around, we'll see here that we have an on off switch, and we also have the power input here. We have the wiring blocks, which I described earlier, which slot in here. In terms then, we have an RS-232, which would normally be used for something like a software update, okay? And then in terms of outputs, we have two choices here. We could use a VGA cable to connect directly to a computer monitor, or a HDMI output would normally be used for connecting directly to a TV. We have an Ethernet port. Then we have a microphone in and out, and finally we have another USB port. Okay, so let's give an overview of this. Like, why is this NVR so good? Well, in terms of its actual storage capacity, it can handle 2 internal hard drives, giving you combined storage capacity of 6 terabytes. The great thing about IP cameras is that, or NVRs, is that it can be used in conjunction with IP cameras. So that both for the resolution of the picture it can support, so it can be up to 100 frames per second, and if we're going with full HD, it can support up to 25 frames per second at 1080p, which is obviously very impressive and way above what you could possibly achieve with a DVR. And also the other advantage of it is it's very networkable, so it can be supported much more easily, we'll say, than a traditional DVR. So in terms of functionality on it then, what can it do? Well, it has alarm triggering, it has PTZ control, there's motion sensing with it. Okay, so it's very comprehensive in that range. So that's it anyway, an overview of the Xvision 4-channel NVR.